talk about hip circles. So we can do these standing or we can do them reclined. And I really prefer to do them reclined, but I want to go over the standing variation. So we would engage all through this standing leg, right? We want to keep the hips in line, and we just basically draw a circle on the floor with our toes. So this is stimulating that natural joint lubricant, the synovial fluid. And depending on what type of class you're writing, that can be a really nice warm-up, especially if you're preparing for a deeper hip pose. So we obviously would go in both directions. I like to keep my hands on my hips so I don't end up like that. So obviously you're going to circle in both directions, and if you have somebody who is a little bit unbalanced or keeps forgetting to engage their glute, you can have them stop halfway. You could even plan it out that way. We're going to circle halfway, press the toe to the mat, and then continue with the rest of our circle. I really like the reclined version, and there are variations, but the standing would be good if you have some knee issues. But while we're standing, we don't want to lock out the knee. So we're going to come onto our back, keeping the shoulders nice and open. We're engaging through the core. And we're going to bring our knees up to our chest. And then some people prefer to keep the knees or the ankles straight and just circle here. I prefer to cross ankle over ankle. Now if you do have sensitive knees, you can always hold underneath them. Or you could even have a small rolled towel and hold onto that if your shoulders are an issue, if you can't reach, or there's some type of restriction there. So I like to circle one way and pulling the toes up towards the shins. We're engaging the core down because we want to have a controlled movement here. We don't want the hips to just be all over the place. We want to have them safely and purposely moved. So we're engaging the core to keep that back down, and we want to make sure that whatever part of the pelvis, this will be a little bit different, but for, depending on your shape for you, but basically your sacrum and, your SI joints, that area. Now we're not pressing the lumbar spine into the mat. We're letting that be its natural curvature. But we're going to circle one direction then the other, and the reason I mention that is because I've had students and they're just wobbling all over. So we want to have it a little bit more controlled and a little more slow and purposeful. And I really like this version. If my hips are tight, sometimes I'll just hop on the floor and do this, because you can really feel that joint is starting to wake up and be warmed up, and especially if you are preparing for a deeper hip pose.